say that you're planning to put me down. I'm leaving it all up to you. Tell me that it isn't true. Well, I know that you've been seen with some other man, tall, dark, and handsome man. You're holding his hand. Darling, I'm counting on you. Tell me that it isn't true. To know that some other man is holding you tight, it hurts me all over. You know it doesn't seem right. All of these awful things that I've heard, I don't wanna believe them. All I want is your word. Darling, you better come through. Tell me that it isn't true. Ah, yes, Bob Dylan, maybe 1970. Hi, folks. It is I, once again. It is show 108 of Messing Around with Charlie Messing. That's me. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be on TV. You know, it's a great comfort knowing that I'll be on TV. No matter how much or how little happens to me since the last show, I've known that I would return. And here I am. I'm back. I'm back on TV. We have some interesting tunes for you today. Let's see, the last rock and roll hit that Elvis Presley ever had, Burning Love, a song he wasn't all that fond of. He didn't like doing it in concert much. This was his 40th #1 hit. This was his last #1 hit, I think. It was his last hit rock and roll song. That I'm absolutely sure of. By Dennis Linde. And I don't know too much about Dennis Linde, though he's been pretty successful. Successful songwriter, he's written a lot of songs. I hadn't heard of most of them, though. And one of the great things about Burning Love is that it starts with Dennis Linde playing the guitar. And I just picture this session, and I picture, like, let's get the speed right, let's get the groove right. And Elvis finally says, Dennis, would you start it off? You know how this song goes. And he starts it off, and he does a great job. And I've seen Elvis do it live with his expert guitar players, and it doesn't sound as good. So that's an interesting side note for this one. And Dennis Linde went on to have a terrific hit with the Dixie Chicks. It's called Goodbye Earl. You know that one? Yes, Goodbye Earl is written by the same person who wrote this. Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising. higher and higher, it's burning through to my soul. Girl, 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 you're gonna set me on fire. My brain is aflame and I don't know which way to go. 'Cause your kisses lifted me higher, like the sweet song of a choir. And you light my morning sky with burning love. Coming closer, the flames are reaching my body. Won't you help me? I feel like I'm slipping away. Burning, 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 and nothing can stop it. Lord Almighty, I'm burning a hole where I lie. 'Cause your kisses lifted me higher, like the sweet song of a choir. And you light my morning sky with burning love. Burning love, burning love. I'm just a hunter. Thank you. Thank you very much. I still have great regard for Elvis. I do not have great regard for his manager. Colonel Parker was a made-up name and a made-up character. This guy was He was an illegal alien, and that's the reason that Elvis never toured the world. Colonel Parker would never let him out of his sight, and he couldn't get a passport. He couldn't leave the country. So Elvis couldn't leave the country, except going into the army in Germany. But Elvis could have toured Japan, where he was fabulously successful. He was fabulously successful all over the world, and he didn't get to go out of America, just to Hawaii and stuff. I don't think he played Alaska. But that's the thing. He never left the USA, which is amazing when we think of it now. And now, the next song, People Ain't No Good. It's one of the best songs on The Boatman's Call album. I like Nick Cave. He's somewhat morose and morbid. That's okay with me. People that ain't no good, and I think that's well understood. You can see it everywhere you look. People just ain't no good. We were married under cherry trees, under blossoms we made our vows, and the blossoms came sailing down over the streets and the playground. The sun would stream on the sheets, woken by the morning bird. We'd buy the Sunday newspaper, never read a single word. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good at all. Seasons came and seasons went, and the wind stripped the blossoms bare. A different tree now lines the street, shaking its fists in the air. And the winter slammed us, windows rattling in the gale, to which she drew the curtains made from her wedding veil. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good at all. To our love, send a dozen white lilies. To our love, send a coffin of wood. To our love, let all the jilted lovers cry that people, they just ain't no good. It ain't in their hearts they're bad. Some comfort you, some even try. They nurse you when you're ill of health. They bury you when you go and die. No, it ain't in their hearts they're bad, and they'd stick by you if they could. Oh, but that's just bull, baby. People just ain't no good. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good at all. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good. People, they ain't no good at all. That's a pretty easy to read font, don't you think? I would just, this is one of my favorite writers. William Kotzwinkle finally made it, which is to say he doesn't have to worry about money anymore, because he did the novelization of E.T. in 1980 or 82. And it sold well because he wrote it well. And it did communicate the heart of the movie in a novel. The main character in this novel is named, or calls himself, Horse Bedordes. Horse Bedordes. #1 pad. This is very obviously about the 60s, and very authentically so. Okay. I am all alone in my pad, man. my piled up to the ceiling with junk pad. Piled with sheet music, with piles of garbage bags bursting with rubbish and encrusted frying pans piled on the floor, embedded with unnameable flecks of putrefied wretchedness in grease. My pad, man. My own little Lower East Side Horse Bedordy's pad. I just woke up, man. Horse Bedordy's just woke up and is crawling around in the sea of abominated filthiness, man, which he calls home. Walking through the rooms of my pad, man, through broken glass and piles of filthy clothes from which I shall select my wardrobe for the day. Here, stuffed in a trash basket, is a pair of incredibly wrinkled up muck pants. And here, man, beneath a pile of wet newspapers, is a shirt, man, with one sleeve. All I need now, man, is a tie, and here is a perfectly good rubber Japanese toy snake, man, which I can easily form into an acceptable knot, looking like a gnarled ball of spaghetti. Spaghetti! Man! Now I remember. That is why I have arisen from my cesspool bed, man, because of the growlings of my stomach. It is time for breakfast, man. But first, I must make a telephone call to Alaska. Must find telephone. Important deal in the making. Looking around for telephone. Fighting my way through piles of sheet music, man, piled to the ceiling. And here is an electric extension cord, man, which will serve perfectly as a belt to hold up my falling down Horse Bedordy's pants simply by running the cord through the belt loops and plugging it together. Looking through the shambles, wreckage, busted chair, old sardine can with a roach in it, empty pina colada bottle, sweet, sticky, gummy something on the wall, broken egg on the floor, some kind of coffee grounds sprinkled around. What's this under here, man? It's the sink, man. I have found the sink. I'd recognize it anywhere. Wait a second, man. It is not the sink, but my Horse Bedordy's big stuffed easy chair piled with dirty dishes. I must sit down here and rest, man. I'm so tired from getting out of bed. Throw dishes onto the floor, crash, break, shatter. Sink down into the damp cushions, some kind of fungus on the armrest, possibility of smoking it. I'm in my little Horse Bedordy's pad, man, looking around. It's the nicest pad I ever had, man, and I'm getting another one just like it down the hall. 2 pads, man. The rent will be high, but it's not so bad if you don't pay it. And with 2 pads, man, I will have room to rehearse the love chorus, man. And we will sing our holy music and record it on my battery-powered, portable, falling-apart Japanese tape recorder with the corroded, worn-out batteries, man. And when we play it back and listen to it, we will not be able to hear it. How wonderful, man. Sitting in chair, staring at wall where paint is peeling off and jelly is dripping and hundreds of telephone numbers are written. I must make a telephone call immediately, man. That is a must. Sitting in chair, staring at wall. Unable to move, man. Feeling the dark, heavy curtain of impassable numbness settling on me, man. Roach crawling up the wall. Yes, man, even my roaches have roaches. Falling back to sleep, head nodding down to chest, Arm falling off side of chair, fingers touching smooth plastic. I found the phone, man. It was right beside me all the time, man, like a good little animal. And I am holding it up, man, and there is margarine in the dial holes. This man is definitely my telephone. My avenue of communication is now Ma Bell, into whom I am inserting my dial finger, man, again and again. She's excited, man. She is responding. Hello? Hello, man. This is Horst Bedordes. Right, man. I'm putting together a little deal, man. Acapulco artichoke hearts, man. Lovely stuff. Came across the Colorado River on a raft, man. It's a little damp, but other than that, can you hold on a second, man? I think I hear somebody trying to break through the window. I cannot speak a moment longer, man, without something to eat. I am weak from hunger, man, and must hunt for my refrigerator through sucked oranges, dead wood, old iron, scum peel. Here it is, man, with the garbage table wedged tightly against it. Tip the table, man. This is no time for formalities. I'm starving. Some kind of mysterious vegetable, man, is sitting in the refrigerator, shriveled, filthy, covered with fungus, a rotten something, man, and it is my breakfast. Rather than eat it, man, I will return to my bed of pain. I will re-enter the bardo of dreams, man, if I can locate my bed. It's through this door and back in here somewhere, man. I must get some more sleep. I realize that now. I cannot function, cannot move forward, man, until I have retreated into sleep. Crawling, man, over the bureau drawers, which are bursting with old rags and my used sock collection, and slipping down, man, catching a piece of the bed, man, where I can relax upon a pile of books, old pail, some rocks floating around, slipping onto my yellow, smeared, stiff, mortified, ripped, wax paper, scummy sheets, man. How nice. And the last thing I do, man, before I sleep is turn on my battery-powered, handheld Japanese fan. The humming note it makes, man, the sweet and constant melodic droning lulls me to sleep, man, where I will dream symphonies, man, and wake up with a stiff neck. That's chapter 1. I hope you got a few laughs out of that. I wonder if I'm talking to anyone who tuned in the middle of that. That was, don't move. That was The Fan Man. That was The Fan Man by William Kotzwinkle, a book which I think should be read by everybody. I don't know, you could say that about anything, right? The Brothers Karamazov.
What's the matter with me? I don't have much to say. Sunlight sneaking through the window and I'm still in this old man cafe. Walking to and fro beneath the moon, out there where the trucks are rolling slow. watch the river flow. Wish I was back in the city instead of on this old bank of sand, with the sun beaming down on the chimney tops and the one I love so close at hand. If I had wings and I could fly, I know where I would go. But right now I'll sit here contentedly and watch the river flow. People disagreeing just about everything makes you stop and wonder why. Yesterday I saw somebody on the street who just couldn't help but cry. This old river just keeps on rolling, no matter what gets in the way or which way the wind does blow. And as long as it does, I'll just sit here and watch the river flow. People disagreeing everywhere you look makes you want to stop and read a book. Yesterday I saw somebody on the street who was really shook. This old river just keeps on rolling, no matter what gets in the way or which way the wind does blow. And as long as it does, I'll just sit here and watch the river flow. Watch the river flow. Watching the river flow. Watching the river flow. I'll just sit here on this bank of sand and watch the river flow.
I am hoping you have been enjoying and are continuing to enjoy Show 108. You know how they say you learn something new every day? I believe it too. I think that the way you do that is by forgetting something every day. I mean, there's only so much room in the hard drive. Well, this tape will reach the end pretty soon. And when it reaches the end, I'll still be sitting here talking. Well, you can't tell if I'm standing or sitting, can you? You can probably tell that I'm sitting because I move differently when I'm standing still than when I'm sitting still. And if you come back next week, you're likely to see Show 109. Kids, never forget, it's a lot easier to be loud than it is to be good. And I urge you all, be good, sound good. Don't just be satisfied with sounding loud. And it'll ruin your ears too. Okay.